Hello, this is John Kelly from the Kelly Law Team. I wanted to talk to you about how much you may get from your workers' compensation claim. So this video is about anyone that's injured, how much they may be receiving if they have an injury on the job. So in Arizona, just like most states, they're going to have statutes that apply that will tell you how much you get if you're injured on the job. And there's very strict rules kind of that we'll go through, but I want to make sure I give you some pointers to kind of help you along the path here. First of all, if you're injured on the job, it's a no-fault system, which means it doesn't matter if it was your fault that you got injured or someone else's, you're going to have the compensation that's given through the statutes. So that's the good news. If you're injured on the job, you're going to be able to make a claim. Now, understand that even if you are injured on the job, you're going to be able to make your claim. This is your sole remedy, which means you are the beneficiary of workers' comp, but you may not be able to make other types of claims, meaning suing your employer in any other regard or someone else that was on the job that may have injured you. So there are some ways that could happen if a third party outside of your work had injured you. You might have a personal injury claim at that point. But if you're on the job, working your job, and you get injured by yourself or someone else that you're working with, you're typically going to have a workers' comp claim. So some tips for starting your claim, because you want to make sure you get off on the right path so that you're not making mistakes that will hurt you down the line. First, you want to report your injury right away to your employer. And it's a good idea to do that in writing. That will give you a record that you let your employer know right away that you were injured. If they fail to take action at that point, you have a record to show that you had made them aware of the injury and they were then on the clock for taking action to help you. Your second thing that you want to do, and you don't want to necessarily rely on your employer for this, is report this to your state's industrial commission. And every state will have an industrial commission. You can find it online. Just if you're in Arizona, it would be Arizona State Industrial Commission. You could Google if you're in Tennessee, Tennessee Industrial Commission, but there'll be forms on there to open a workers' comp claim. So that should help you out in getting the process started. In Arizona, the website is azica.gov, and right on there they have a form, and every state will be the same. Your third tip is to go see your doctor. Don't wait for your employer to send you to a doctor. Now, you know that you're going to have doctors that will be provided that won't be out-of-pocket expenses for you, but if you don't get to your initial diagnosis and your employer is not taking action, not filling out the right paperwork, not getting you to a workers' comp associated doctor, there can be problems if you have a gap in treatment or if you don't get diagnosed right away. And it can really hurt your claim long term, especially if you have some sort of disability that was related to the accident. You want to get into a doctor and get a diagnosis right away. So let your employer know, go to the website, get to a doctor. Now, regarding the compensation that you'll get, what benefits will you receive? That's going to be all under the statutes. So how much is your claim worth? You will get 1, medical benefits fully subsidized. 2, you could get disability benefits, temporary disability benefits. And 3, you could get permanent disability benefits. So with the medical benefits, that is if you can get back to work, you're not disabled, you will have compensation for your doctor's appointments, whatever it costs to get there, any diagnosis, any treatment, till you reach your maximum medical improvement. And that's kind of something that your doctors will have to determine. You can, after that, sometimes get some extra supportive care, but these things are, in place for you to get to doctors to get better until your maximum medical improvement. Secondly, you can get temporary disability benefits if you're not able to get back to work, and you get wage replacement based on your income. So you're going to have to be able to show how much you make. Generally, for instance, in Arizona, you get 66 2/3% of your average monthly wage as your benefit for temporary disability. And there's some caps in there. In Arizona, it's $4,500 per month, but and this is non-taxable income. So just some information out there right off the bat. You know that you can get that temporary disability, but you have to apply for it. You have to prove your wages and that kind of thing. And then the third one is permanent disability benefits. And this is for more serious injuries. And permanent disability is actually into two categories. So you'll either have a scheduled injury or an unscheduled injury. If you have a scheduled injury, it's actually on a list of injuries to certain body parts. So say you injure your finger and you lose your finger totally. That's actually going to be on a list of injuries, and it's going to affect your wage earning capacity. And they're going to have a statute that actually is on this schedule that's going to tell them how much you're going to get paid out for that injury. Believe it or not, almost all injuries are included on this list. Now, there are certain injuries that are not included, and those are unscheduled injuries. And unscheduled injuries, notable ones that are not on there, are going to be head injuries, back injuries, shoulder injuries. If it's not on the scheduled list that's delineated by the statute, then it's just a matter of how much lost earning capacity you have. And it could go on the rest of your life. There's a lot of different factors that go into that. So as you can see, it gets pretty complicated. You have to kind of sort through the statutes to determine how much benefits that you're going to be receiving for your workers' comp injury. Most notably, what's missing from your compensation, what you won't get, is pain and suffering, which you can get in a regular personal injury claim or other consequential damages that you have. So it is limited in several different factors, but it is available to any employee. That if you have an employer, you can make this claim if you're injured on the job. So how much is your claim worth? As you can see, it's very complicated to answer that question without knowing exactly what the specific injury is, how much wages you're earning, how much you're out because of it. It's a good idea if you do have a workers' comp claim to do those initial 1, 2, 3 steps that I went over, and then reach out to an attorney, talk it over with them, see if they can help you, benefit you, and getting you to the right places beyond that. If you'd like, you can call my law firm. It's the Kelly Law Team, and you can reach me at 602-283-4122.